Welcome back to another CSE listed issuer update, obviously brought to you by the Canadian Securities Exchange. I am talking virtually today to Mr. Rana. Rana is the president and CEO of Blue Lagoon Resources, trades on the CSE under the symbol BLLG. Rana, thank you so much for your time today. I hope you and your family are well.
Thanks for having me. No, we're doing great. Thank you, Neil.
Of course. So Rana, we've obviously had you on our series before talking about Blue Lagoon Resources, but I wanted to get a better sense of what the company is up to. I've seen a lot of recent news in the last few weeks. So let's start off by you addressing how the year 2021 ended off for yourself and your team.
Sure. It was a very busy and very exciting year. We had announced a 20,000 meter drill program back in about this time last year, and we ended up doing 26,000 meters. So, because we just, kept hitting a great mineralization. So it's very, very exciting. We were also very busy on the second part of our story, which is production. We're very, very close. We have 3 amendments that had to be finished. The only reason this project isn't in actual production is because literally the previous owners just got a little too old. They're 83 years old when I met with them, and unfortunately, actually, one of them just passed away about 3 months ago, and they just ran out of time, and they needed to deploy about $2 million and finish these 3 amendments to get it back in production. We did that last year, so they're all now complete, and we're just getting ready for our final application to submit to the ministry. So it started off as a great year, and it ended off as a great year, to be honest with you.
So you mentioned you'd set out to do 20,000 meters in drilling, but since it was so positive, it's now 26.
We ended the year with 26.
With 26. So what's happening in 2022? Let's talk about that.
Well, 2022, we just announced another 20,000 meter drill program just about 4 weeks ago that we started on, going down that journey. So just following up on the results that we got last year. In fact, we're into a couple of new zones that we've discovered. We're really concentrating on that right now. It's been a little bit frustrating from the assay side, because I'm sure you've heard this before too, but the labs are just so backed up. It's unbelievable. Normally a 4 to 6 week, maximum 7 week turnaround time is running like 16 weeks. It's just insane. So that's made it a little bit challenging. But other than that, this is going to be a game-changing year for our company for sure.
Rana, I want to talk a little bit about the challenge that you just mentioned when it comes to the delays at the assay labs. How is your team pivoting around that? Have you found a way to sort of navigate that?
Yeah, a couple of things. I mean, one is, I started looking at other labs, who's available, and that's what we've done. There was one particular lab that that I spoke with that I showed them what our plan is, and I showed them what the future looks like for us. There's going to be a lot of work, and they were very responsive and very receptive. And actually, we started a relationship with them in December. We sent them some material in late December, and already got it back and news released it. So there you go. So you have to deal with the situation. You have to basically play with the cards that are that you're dealt with. And right now, the bigger labs, the ones that are often used by many companies, are just so backed up. And unfortunately, the lab we were using also had a cyber attack, so that made it even more complicated and challenging. So you just find solutions. The second part of it is that we have so many targets on here. So, when we're waiting for some data, some crucial data from one area, we just pivot to another area. And that's what we've been doing as well.
Talk to us a little bit about the property for our viewers that might not be familiar with what you and your team actually have.
Well, it's a very interesting property. It's up just a short distance from Smithers, BC, up in northern British Columbia. It's a short drive, about less than an hour, 50 minutes. You're there all year round, access. It's a very interesting property. It's a almost 22,000 hectare property. But what's interesting is it's been in private hands, for all these years before we got there a couple of years ago. And the entire focus of this private group was on this tiny little area that we call the Boulder Vein, which is where we have a nice little starter resource of a couple 100,000 ounces. But there was no exploration done because, private company, limited funds, they really wanted to just get the mine into production. They were in a very bad gold market, as you know, for the last bad exploration market in the last sort of 10 years. And kudos to them, they still raised $28 million, but they spend it all in permitting and development and infrastructure. So there's lots of infrastructure there. There's 1,100 meters of tunneling done. That's leads right to the main Boulder Vein. So our focus has been to go in there and not only develop that and finish it because it doesn't really need any more capital, but also, we did the first ever airborne survey last year on this property, and the whole thing just lit up. And everyone was like, holy smokes, how come no one knew about this before? Well, it's because my predecessors didn't spend any money, on this property in exploration. So the property is there's many, very, very compelling targets. It's got a lot of upside. And a real game changer, to be honest with you, for us was last year after I bugged this gentleman for about 9 months, finally gave in to my persistence and took a look at the projects. And that's a legendary geologist, Dr. Quinton Henning. And he looked at it and honestly, his last words after a 90-minute technical call were his exact words were, "You boys have a hidden gem here." So that was a big game changer for us from a property perspective. So, we believe that we have something pretty significant here. It's just a matter of now getting the right data, use good science, and what exploration is all about, drill.
Yeah, obviously you're in a great jurisdiction. It's mining friendly. It's got infrastructure. You obviously seem to have the right team in place to move this project forward. Can you maybe talk a little bit about Dr. Henning's background and how he is such a integral part of your team?
Well, actually, he's not part of our team. This is what's interesting. He advises a fund called Crescat Capital. And, so I'm an entrepreneur, right? I'm not a mining engineer or a geologist. So the way I've always operated in every industry that I go into is I try to find the brightest, the best minds. I want to be the dumbest guy in the room, right? So when I learned about Dr. Henne, who was a big part of Kirkland Gold, he's a big part of Newfound Gold, and Eric Sprott just gave them $48 million. I mean, this guy is the real deal. And so I reached out to him to expand our story, to share our story. And when he finally took a look at it, like I said, he really was scratching his head thinking, hey, how come I didn't know about this before? And he was really pleasantly. So since then, our chief geologist, Bill Cronks, visited with him. He spent a day with him in Denver. They've exchanged data. We talked to him regularly. And so his background is of particular importance because he believes that we are sitting on what's called an alkali gold system, which he says is eerily similar. That's the words he used to Buritica in Colombia, which has 11 million ounces. Now, it took them many years to get to where they are, and what we're hoping is that the Dr. Henne's knowledge and with that discovery in Colombia, that we can cut our time down significantly. So I'm in a beautiful position where he's not on our payroll, he's not compensated by us in any way, but the fund he advises, Crescat, he had advised them to invest in Blue Lagoon, which they did. So I get his brain power, for free.
Can't go wrong with that one, right, Rana? Now, I also noticed there was a second portion to the news that the company and your team has recently been putting out. Now, your team is also shipping gold and silver concentrate to your toll mill partners, correct? Can you talk to our audience about that?
Yeah, there was 5,000 tons of mineralized material that the previous owners had mined, but didn't have the ability to take it out. They ran out of money. They also couldn't find a mill to get that processed. So part of our amendment process, that was one of the amendments that we had to do, was to finish some of the work underground. So since we had to do that anyways, we did that. We got the permission from the government to take that out. So we took that 5,000 tons out. We got it. We sent it out to our Nicola, who is our toll mill partner, and it's been fantastic. This is high grade material. We're talking about around 10 grams a ton. This is a high grade property that we have here, and that generated about $1.5 million. $1 million has already come in, about 500,000 plus is still yet to come. So it's been fantastic, but most importantly, it's done a couple of things. It's shown the market that we're executing on everything that we're saying we're going to execute. So the taking that material out not only reconfirmed all our metallurgy in real time, because it had been done before, but now once again, Nikola was able to recover 95% of the gold, 90% of the silver, which is fantastic. But also it allowed our team to get all the logistics down. So now we know, right, whether it's taking it out of the mine, down to sampling, sorting, trucking, all the logistics are now down. So day one now, when we get the permission from the government, which we expect to have later this year, we can hit the ground running and be in a cash flowing as soon as we get the green light.
Rana, I'm a bit curious here, and I'm not sure if you can dwell into this, but I know you've got Nikola Mining as a toll mill partner. Is your team looking at other partners as well?
Well, look, we're always looking at, that's, again, the way I operate. I'm always looking to see how can I add shareholder value? What actions can I take, as the president of this company that add value? And that could be in a number of ways. So I'm always very open. I'm very approachable. I talk to all shareholders who email me or call me. Always take the time out. Sometimes it takes me a day or two to get back to them, just from the volume. But yes, I'm always open and always looking to see how we can add value to our company.
Great. So obviously a strong finish to the last year. Stronger start to 2022. What can our viewers expect from you and your team in the coming months as we move along?
Well, I'll tell you, keep an eye on us, keep an eye on those news releases. I think the two key things are going to be is, getting our final application in for permitting. Well, we're permitted, but just to get the green light to show the government that we've done all the amendments. So that's going to be very, very key. That's going to be coming up here, shortly. And then just the drill results. We're still waiting on 28 assays. Some of the holes that we drilled back in late October, we're still waiting for them. I mean, it's just unbelievable. So I think there's going to be lots of news flow coming, and I think this year, 2022, is going to be an absolutely game-changing year for this company. There's a lot of very positive things that we're expecting, that we're seeing visually that I can't talk about at the moment because there haven't been news release, but we're pretty excited.
Well, Rana, since you do have a strong pipeline of news that's going to be coming out, where can our viewers go to sign up for your newsletter, read up on your press releases, and obviously add BLLG to their watch list?
Yeah, our website, www.bluelagoonresources.com, is the best source. You're going to have, the news releases are up to date there, and of course, there's an email link there if they want to speak to me or have any questions. They're most welcome to click on that, and it'll come right to me.
Excellent. Rana, it's always a pleasure talking to you and finding out what your team at Blue Lagoon Resources is working on. I look forward to actually hosting you again in the next few months as you're meeting these milestones and provide our viewers with another update on the company. To anybody watching, you've been listening to Mr. Rana Vig. He is the president CEO of Blue Lagoon Resources. I'm Anil Mall. I represent the Canadian Securities Exchange, and this is a CSE listed issuer update. Rana, thank you so much for your time. And again, we wish you and your team nothing but success as you move forward this year.